Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, as usual, y'all know what I'm going to say. Yes, I'm going to invite you in. If you're listening and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and be a part of our growing community. Yes, we are growing and we have the best community, the best tribe on these internet streets. And if you don't believe me, go in the comments, chit chat, meet some new people, mingle a little bit. And I promise you, you're going to be impressed. And when you get through, you know what you need to do. Go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit that notification bell too, so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And I do pop in. Keep an eye out. I do. And also give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. And boy, like I've been telling y'all here lately, I have been absolutely smashing it. I have, and it's all because of y'all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I want to say a big thank you to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Listen, it helps so much, and y'all have been smashing it on that as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, look over there in the corner. That's our join button. That's the channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, look over there in the corner. That's our super thanks button, and all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have a couple of shout outs, and first up is Ella Gully. Ella is a ride or die. Ella is an unwavering support of this channel. Ella is a vital part of this community. She's always supporting. She's always in the comments. She is just everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Ella. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being Ella. And that right there is everything. Also, I want to give a shout out to Christina Trejo. Christina, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for riding with us. Yes, thank you for deciding to be a part of this tribe, because let me tell you, you add so much to it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for seeing something in my channel that you want to support. I can't tell you, that is the biggest compliment. And I am so appreciative for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, I'm going to play this and we will talk on the other side. All right, y'all, I want to give another quick thank you, thank you, thank you to Ella Gully and Christina Trejo. Y'all are everything. I don't even need to say anymore. Y'all are everything, and you mean so much to this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being you and being here. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know when I am putting the read together, I be in these internet streets. I hit these internet streets, and that's exactly what I have been doing today. Now, I did not have the opportunity to be all over these internet streets. I think I went to Instagram and stalk Megan a little bit and just peek in to see what the Instagram squatties are talking about. And of course, they still dragging Kate, they still dragging her, but it's also other stuff that's going on. And they're talking about some nonsense that media over there has been up to. And the squatties, of course, are on their job pushing back and absolutely dragging the ones that needs to be drugged. Yes. And we're going to participate in a little of that here on this podcast, because why would I miss out on the fun? Dragging is something I love to do, and I plan on dragging Kate and the horse today. But I digress on that. And of course, I made my way over to X, formerly known as Twitter, the place that I lovingly call the sewer, to see what the squatties were up to. And let me tell you, they are up to a lot what the squatties on Instagram are up to, dragging Kate and also dragging William and his PR team. I mean, they kind of messed things up today. They kind of showed their underskirt. That's what my grandmother used to say. Pull your slip up. It's showing. They slip showed today. Yes, and we're going to talk about that. And let's see what else. We have quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead on and get into it. And one of the best things that happened today is this, and I'm going to put it up. Look at this. Meghan hit 4 million on her Instagram page. She did. She has 4 million followers. And this particular squatty posted about it and said 4 million, and every follower matters. Not for popularity, but for what she stands for. A woman who is free, strong, and aligned. This isn't just an account, it is a presence. In just 7 months, she's reminded the world that real impact doesn't need noise, just truth. Congratulations. Exactly. Meghan has hit 4 million followers. Y'all know my inner Oprah has to come out. Yes. And I can't even tell you how many views Meghan has gotten on this particular page. I know it's in the hundreds of millions of views that Meghan has gotten from her posts. And I often think back to Kensington Royal, who has what, like 10 times as many, probably, maybe not 10 times, but definitely 8 times as many followers as Meghan has, and they cannot even break 1 million on any of their posts. I mean, it's dismal over there. They're collecting dust over there on that account. But Meghan has 4 million, and she is clocking million after million after million on every post. And I just love it for them. And I love it for Meghan, because she has proved them all wrong. They wanted nothing but her to fail. And she has done nothing except succeed. Whew, I love it. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And it looks like Channel 5 is up to some shenanigans. They had 2 programs last night. Now, this is what the squatties are talking about. And one was about Kate, and the other one was about Meghan. And of course, it went to the whole narrative of the saint and the sinner, the devil and the angel. And we all know the one that they painted Meghan out to be. Now, the one that was focusing on Kate, the name of it was Kate in Her Own Words. And you know, if I didn't know any better, I would think that they were trolling Kate, because we all know her own words are something that gets away from her, that she can't tie together 2 sentences that are coherent And so, is this a troll? It has to be them trolling her. But I did not see any clips from this particular program, but from what I understand and what the squatties are saying, it was very sycophantic. Yes, trying to build Kate up. And they the way they do things over there, they build Kate up and do what? Tear Meghan down. And Meghan's program, the name of it was Meghan, the Duchess for Sale. Yes, trying to come at her success as a successful entrepreneur, that she has successfully launched a potential $1 billion company, and they cannot stand it. Now, listen, I did see some clips from this one, and it is the greatest hits. It is nothing but hit after hit after hit. They went all the way back to what's love got to do with it. I mean, when Harry and Meghan was dating, everything. They brought up all the hits, all of them. You name them, they brought them up. I mean, trying to influence people into hating Meghan, hating on Meghan, trying to create this facade of who she is, trying to pretend like she is this awful person. She's just after the money and she doesn't love Harry, and just on and on and on. And this particular squatty posted about it and said this: shame on Channel 5 TV. Two programs tonight. Kate, in her own words, the sycophants with was sickening, followed by Meghan, the Duchess for Sale. The title says it all. I won't be watching. Well, we all know that this is the way they play the game. This is the way. And I'm going to tell you, my first impression of what's going on here is they are fighting for their lives over there. This is all of them really panicking about Meghan's success and Harry's success. And they know what they have left over there. And they're trying to save it. They're trying to absolutely save the United Kingdom for William and Kate. They have given up on trying to, you know, claim the United States or the world, trying to get people to believe that Kate and William are these great people and that they are the it couple, and tear down Harry, and they're going to shine and they're going to be on the world stage. They have absolutely let that go by the wayside. You can tell, like I said, I saw some clips of this. You can tell that they have given that up. This is just desperation masked as arrogance. That's all it is. They try to put on these airs, but in actuality, you can smell the desperation on them. William and Kate are desperate. They are desperately trying to hold on. They are, because at the end of the day, they too feel the shift. They felt the shift at the trooping of the color. When people did not turn out, they knew right then and there a shift has been made. And they are desperate to hold on to the United Kingdom, to hold on to this monarchy. They know that they're circling the drain. And from the clips that I saw, it is nothing but desperation. And it just shows, it reeks of it. I mean, it is just one hit right after another hit after another hit. It is to the point where it's pretty much comical. I mean, do you know how fevered minded you would have to be to believe that Meghan, this person who you see on her Instagram, is the same person that these people are describing in this television show? It is crazy trying to use her strengths as and make them into her weaknesses. Isn't that what Davos says you're supposed to do? Yes, they're trying to use reverse psychology on the British people, trying to get them to think that making money, making their own way, not living off the taxpayer is actually a bad thing. Meghan being ambitious and being independently wealthy from those people over there, and Harry too, is a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Her success is actually a bad thing because she can't keep her products on her website, and somehow that's going to be bad for her. Not that the fact that she's so successful that she sells everything out. Yes, they want to try to use that against her. Her success is actually her failure. Stop it. Stop it right now. And Emily Andrews was on there with her legs, her trying to cross her legs. Y'all know how her and Big Back Becky, they absolutely just about kick people in the head trying to keep their legs crossed. And that's what Emily Andrew was doing on this particular program, rehashing lies. Now, it was some people on there that I did not recognize. I don't know them, but they were so snide in their remarks. Yes, talking about as ever the design, Meghan's calligraphy that she has on her packaging is royal like. Everything has something to do with the royal family. Her success is because of the royal family. Her success is because her being adjacent to the royal family. She would not be successful as she is if she did not have her royal titles. This is what these people are saying and trying to get people to believe, that somehow all the hard work, Meghan shine her personality, who she is as a person, her essence is the reason why Meghan is successful. And those titles have nothing to do with it. It can just be Harry and Meghan, and they would be just as successful as they are being the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Because at the end of the day, Harry is always going to be Charles's son. And at the end of the day, Meghan is always going to be Harry's wife. So stop it. Stop with the nonsense. But yes, they were talking about that. And then they even rehashed this whole nonsense about Netflix. Talk about their contract is coming up, and Harry and Meghan hasn't had any success when it comes to Netflix. And then they went over the different shows that Harry and Meghan had done, and how Meghan is freezing Harry out. It's more about Meghan on Netflix than it is Harry. And it went on and on and on, and how they didn't know if Netflix was going to continue with their relationship with Harry and Meghan or not. They really sit there and talk that nonsense when Netflix, every opportunity Netflix has, they let them know that their relationship with Harry and Meghan is going to continue. Harry and Meghan has a whole movie that they're working on. Don't forget about what is it? Something on the Lake? Y'all put it in the comments, the name of that book from that Canadian author that they're making into a movie. They have that. Meghan has her second season of As Ever. I'm not As Ever, I'm sorry. With Love, Meghan. Yes, all of that is coming out. And Netflix has partnered with Meghan with As Ever, but yet and still, they just don't know. Oh, Jack Royston, that little pipsqueak was on there. Just do not know, because they haven't had any success except the Harry and Meghan documentary, and that was because they were selling the royal family. They cannot have any success without the royal family. This is the lie that they're out here peddling. It is so pathetic. Like I said, the rehashing of the lies were absolutely nauseating. Like I said, I just saw some clips, and what I saw of it, it was ridiculous. Yeah, they even reached back to that old Spotify lie, talking about how Spotify pretty much fired Harry and Meghan, and how the executive, they had that up talking and called Harry and Meghan grifters. I even kid you not, they even brought up South Park. I kid you not. Talking about we want privacy, even played that. I mean, how pathetic. These people are so pathetic, but they seem to forget the episode of South Park with William and Kate where William pulls Kate's arm off and pegs himself with it. Now they forget that one, but they always remember the one with Harry and Meghan and say Harry and Meghan was being mocked. Well, if Harry and Meghan is being mocked, what is William and Kate? These people are so disingenuous. It is ridiculous and it's so desperate. I'm telling you, it for what I saw, it just seems to reek in desperation. They are trying to hold on to the British public. They are trying desperately to hold on because they know that the British public is slowly but surely waking up to the BS, to the grift, and they're trying to hold on, and they're using the media because at the end of the day, they need one another, the media and that family. Because without the media, they are nothing. And without the media, without that family, it's nothing. And they are slowly circling the drain together. And also, I noticed on this is what they've been doing. You know, I talked about this in my last podcast. What they have been doing, they have been laying off of Harry and focusing in with a laser on Meghan. Yes, they want Harry to come back. They keep signaling that they want Harry back. But Harry's not going to come back over there. When will they ever get that through their favorite minds that Harry wants nothing to do with them? And Harry, I believe, doesn't want anything to do with his family because Harry sit on that BBC interview and he was angered to no end about how and what he had found out that his father and that institution had been up to, and how they unnecessarily put his wife, his children, and himself in danger. Harry's done with them folks. He really is. And I just wish that Invictus was not in that country, 2027. Because watching the clips of this particular program that I saw, these are some bitter, bitter, dangerous bitches. And Harry don't need to be nowhere near them because we all know a bitter, jealous uh, person like that, people like these people and his brother are not to be trusted. I'm just saying. And the squatty came up under that post and said this: Channel 5, like all the British media, are acting like scorn itches. They will never get over the fact that Meghan continues to ignore and give them dust. Where is the lie? And they'll never get over the fact that Harry left with Meghan and they have become successful. They have become globally famous. They're the most famous royal couple it is in the world. And Meghan it can be argued to say that Meghan is one of the most famous women in the world. And they cannot handle it because that was supposed to be Kate. But Kate can't handle it. She cannot handle the world stage. She folds like a cheap tent every time she is on the world stage. She melts like the witch in The Wizard of Oz. I mean, she becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. It is ridiculous. And Meghan shines. She shines like a diamond on the world stage. And that's why they so mad. I'm just saying. I just want to say this one last thing about this is it was a black lady on there and she was so sickening. That's the only word I can come up with. And she made a statement that was so stupid. She said, I think, now don't quote me on this, but I believe she said that Meghan did not know who she was, or she did not know who Meghan was. Have you not been paying attention? And I don't think she meant that she did not know who Meghan was. Saying that Meghan did not know who she was, meaning who she was as a person, what she wanted to be. Did she want to be a podcaster? Did she want to be an entrepreneur or whatever? But what they don't seem to understand about American culture over here, you don't have to define yourself with one thing. You can be multifaceted. Yes, look at Beyonce. Beyonce is an actress. She's a songwriter. She is a dancer. She is what they call a triple threat. Yes, and you can be that here in America. You don't have to pick and choose. You can be it all. And I just found that so strange for her to say that. And why are you there? That's my question. Now, they had a black guy on there also, and he was very fair. But this woman, not so much. I'm just saying. Very, very strange to me. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up, and this is what some squatties had to say about this. And the first one said, Kate, in her own words, she literally can't string a sentence together. Despite Channel 5 TV desperate propaganda, we are capable of realizing who is articulate, competent, hardworking, kind, happy, and who is not. Where is the lie? It is them gaslighting the British public, convincing them that 2 plus 2 is 5. And I do not believe that it's going to be too many people who absolutely fall for that nonsense. And this particular squatter said, I watched a little of the Duchess one, and it was such a hatchet job. People peddling the same old lies and spin to make her look bad, making out that she was failing in everything she does. Totally pathetic. Exactly. Yes, they tried to make her success failures. They did. They tried to play that. And all I know is Meghan is successful by anybody's measuring stick. I'm just saying. And they are going to have a hard time selling that when Meghan goes global. Because when she goes global, oh man. And the UK is going to go crazy for her products. They are. And again, the poll, the realistic poll, the poll of real people are going to prove who is popular and who is not. This squatty said this, turning an alleged cancer into a whole personality, not to raise awareness, but to avoid doing a job. That's just smiling and waving at people every 2 months is psychotic behavior, especially when you are still able to go skiing in the French Alps. It's disgusting. Exactly. That's who Kate is. Kate is a liar. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up. And this is an article from Kaiser. And we all know Kaiser write an article about an article. And the name of this article is Wales' Friend, Prince Harry ain't the sharpest tool in the box and was manipulated. Yes, this is what they are planning behind the scene. Kensington Palace is that Harry is dumb and he has been manipulated by Meghan. Yes, this is what these people are saying. And this is coming straight from a man who fell for the honeypot. I mean, he fell for the honeypot from a woman who, when she talks, you can feel your IQ dropping. And he fell for that. But Harry is the dumb one. Harry is the one that's being manipulated. Now, he wasn't manipulated when this woman was changing her majors, changing her colleges and everything, and running the honeypot on him. Now, he had been manipulated, but Harry is the one who has been manipulated. I guess, how did Meghan manipulate Harry seeing her picture on his phone? How did she maneuver that? That is some crazy stuff coming from a man who fell for the honeypot maneuver from someone as dumb as Kate. Can you imagine how dumb you have to be to fall for the honeypot from somebody that is as dumb as Kate, who can't even tie together two sentences? But yet and still, you got the nerve to say that your brother is not the sharpest tool in the box. And he has way more accolades than you. He has way more achievements than you, and his wife is so much better than yours. And yet and still, he's the one that's not. I mean, stuff like this really gets me going because the audacity of it all. How dare you? How dare you? How effing dare you? I think I saw that in a movie. Yes, how dare you to insult Harry in such a way when Harry has proven at every turn that he's very intelligent. Look at Travelers, a $3 trillion company that he created from whole cloth. $3 trillion in assets with his partners, but yet and still, he's not the sharpest tool in the box. He created Invictus from whole cloth when he came home, saw this soldier on the plane who was so severely injured. He went to the Warrior Games here in America. He was inspired and then created Invictus out of whole cloth. But Harry is supposed to be the dumb one. These people need to stop it. Can you imagine Harry having to grow up in that family? I feel so bad for Harry, but yet now I feel so joyous for him because he don't have to put up with this nonsense anymore. This is clearly the golden child scapegoat analysis. It doesn't matter how smart, how well accomplished the scapegoat is in the family. They're going to try to create this narrative that he's stupid, that he is a good for nothing, that he's walking around running into walls. That's the way they want to try to portray Harry. And in actuality, Harry is the smartest one in his family. Harry is the smartest one in that family. He is the only one who has the ability to create things. Harry is excellent. They are mediocre, but yet and still, all his life, they have tried to make him believe that he is not. But for some reason, they never, ever was able to close the deal to make Harry feel that way because he kept on creating, he kept on doing, he kept on achieving, and he never, ever, ever really bought into the fact that he was worthless as what they were telling him. I'm just saying. And listen to this nonsense that William and his people have planted in the media. And it says in the Daily Beast, this is what Kaiser said, that it says in the Daily Beast that the late Queen Elizabeth II was extremely suspicious of Meghan Markle and ended up being profoundly unhappy with Prince Harry and Meghan after they wed. But yet and still, where's the evidence? Where is the evidence that the Queen was just absolutely so disappointed with Harry and Meghan, unhappy with Harry and Meghan? Where is that evidence? And then it goes on to say one source, a former courtier, told the Daily Beast ultimately the Queen felt betrayed by Harry, and when he and Meghan attacked the institution that she spent her whole life serving in the Oprah interview, they betrayed, their betrayal was complete. This is what this nonsense that William is planting. This has his fingerprints all over it. And it says the allegations of racism dismayed the Queen. To accuse an unidentified person within the family of racism, therefore casting a shadow of suspicion over everyone, was unforgivable in her eyes. This is nothing but William putting his words in the dead queen's mouth. This is all this is, because we know and we saw in real time how the queen treated Harry and Meghan after the Oprah interview. Harry and Meghan came to visit the Queen several times. And like I said, the Queen, while they were all out of town, made arrangements for all of them to come so she could meet she could meet Princess Lilibet. Yes, but yet and still they want you to believe that all the things that William are feeling is what the Queen was feeling. These people need to stop. And it said, another friends of the royals told the Daily Beast, you have to remember that the Queen was seriously ill for several years with bone cancer. She knew she was dying and she could hardly see, she could hardly stand, and she could hardly move. And then she was completely let down by her grandson. Can you believe that? Trying to say that the Queen was in such bad condition, but Harry let her down. And it was ultimately devastating for her. Using the dead Queen to try to shape a narrative. They have no low. They have no threshold for any kind of shame. These people are despicable. They are. And trying to do this, this is their last resort. This right here is nothing but desperation. And it says, a friend of Prince William and Kate Middleton said, the family, of course, all blame Meghan 100%. This is them speaking. They blame Meghan 100%. And it says Sally Bedham's Smith's column made clear he ain't the sharpest tool in the box, and they feel he was completely manipulated, and that Meghan saw him and realized, listen to this, and realized she could become the most famous person in the world. That right there is the rub for them. That Meghan has become one of the most famous people in the world, and they are not. They said that came from a friend of Prince William and Kate Middleton. That came straight from them. It is absolutely eating them alive, Meghan's success. And how about they blame Meghan 100% because Harry's stupid. And he is sitting up there married to his stalker and fell hook, line, and sinker for the oldest trick in the book, the honeypot maneuver. but yet it still is Harry, the stupid one. These people need to stop. I am done with this particular article because I cannot do anymore. William has reached a new low to take all of his feelings and use them and put them in the dead queen's mouth to try to shape a narrative against his brother. How low, how very low can you go? That's the reason him and Kate Middleton is walking around looking like cast members from the Walking Dead television show. Yes, they look horrendous. While Harry and Meghan is shining bright like a diamond. All you have to do to see who is right and who is wrong, look at them. They look like death warmed over, while Harry and Meghan just absolutely looks like sun kissed. They look so sun kissed and so radiant and so happy. They are just absolutely pissed because Meghan has become one of the most famous people in the world. Her and Harry both, because they are now, you can just say, take your titles, take all of it, and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. Because at the end of the day, all Harry and Meghan need is Harry and Meghan. They have become so famous that they don't need anything else. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up, and this is why they mad. Because Meghan, the Meghan effect. That is why they mad. This particular squad is said, along with Kate Middleton, is a racist new recovery narrative. The media is again trying to sell the lie that she is a fashion icon by having her colonize other people's style. This is the real Kate effect. So let me post 4 posteries before they delete another inconvenient truth. Exactly. Yes, they want to try to say she's a fashion icon now. She has the Kate effect. Well, the Kate effect is not the Meghan effect. And they are mad about this. And everything that she has touched in the past have absolutely sunk like a rock. And this is some of the squatty posted some of the things that Kate has been associated with that has gone belly up. I'm not going to read them, but yes, they have gone belly up. And it's no Kate effect. It's none. And that's what that whole royal warrant thing is about. Why they wanted that. And and they're hoping somehow it would give them some kind of clout where all of these designers and all of these merchants and people who sell goods and services will want to come to them and get a royal warrant. And we all know that if you don't have the pull, a royal warrant doesn't mean anything. People are not going to buy your stuff if just because you have a royal warrant. Who does that? They want to buy your stuff if you have the shine, that you create an aura around you that makes people want to be like you, that like your taste and the things that you select as your style. They like your style. Nobody likes Kate's style because Kate's style is stolen. It has always been stolen from the Queen, from her dead mother-in-law, and now from Meghan. It's ridiculous, but I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And y'all remember this, even the horse, just like Kate, I have always said they compete to bite off of Meghan's style, off her persona. And this particular squatty posted about it and said this cow came across my feed And it reminded me that the palace spread false rumors that Meghan was pursuing some sort of brand deal with Dior. I remember that. And it says just so that Camilla could step out in a moo made by them. And the narrative could then spin that Dior chose a side. So glad my fave hasn't wore their design since then. Y'all tell me Megan doesn't have a teeny weeny bit of pettiness in her, because I remember this. Yes, and they never ever knew anything about Dior or Aquazora or any of the designers that Megan favored. But until Megan came along, and all they have done is bite off of her ever since. It's ridiculous. So, yes, I agree with this, Squatty. This old cow came across her feet. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this is a picture of William, well, a screen grab of William comforting one of, I guess, the family members of the tragedy that happened 7/7. And Kensington Palace posted about this, and the squatties caught them in doing what I'm sure that they always do, and that is to get someone else to write their post. Let's look at this original one. And it, see where it says Prince and Princess of Wales, and then it says and copy, meaning that this was written and they told them to copy that part, but somebody is so stupid that they even copied the part where they were telling them and copy. These are the geniuses that are working over there in Kensington Palace PR department. It is amateur hour over there. That's why they get mad with Harry and Meghan, because Archwell and Harry and Meghan's organization, I'm not saying that sometimes they don't, run into a few bumps, but nothing like this nonsense. And y'all remember, just last week, Richard Eden was talking about how Meghan's post had used a word incorrectly or something like this, in which I believe that was all made up nonsense. But he has really, really been quiet off of this. Now, this right here is a F up. I'm just saying. And they wrote that and copy, remembering the victims of 7/7's attack on this 20-year anniversary, joining survivors and bereaved families at the Memorial Gardens in Hyatt Park this afternoon. And there William is pretending like he cares. And this particular squatty said, "This is absolutely laughable and and always and also kind of pitiful at the same time. William Parker Bowles and his team are so bad at this, and it is pretty much looks like they have probably a PR agency or some royal rodent writing the posts for them, and they are just posting them. Nothing heartfelt." Exactly. Exactly. This is who they are. And he was there pretending like he was comforting people and he cared. And I bet you, as he put his hand on this woman's back, he was looking at his watch to see how many more minutes he had to keep the farce up. I'm just saying. And then this squatty reposted this and said, they have a team of 68 people now and can't even get a single social media post right. And this isn't just about Ascot or something stupid. It is about honoring victims of a deadly attack. These people are such pathetic losers. Where is the lie? Where is it? I mean, amateur time. They are not very good at anything. And that is the reason why they're so bitter at Harry and Meghan, who are good at what they do. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. This doesn't have anything to do with Harry and Meghan. This has everything to do with Nana. Nana is getting married. Y'all remember, it's been a while ago, but I did, I don't think I did a podcast, but I mentioned it in one of my podcasts. And she is marrying a man who was in prison for 10 years, I think, for thievery or something like that. And that's who Nana is marrying. And she is just giddy about the fact that somebody wants her, not understanding the fact that he wants just about anything that he can hold on to coming out of prison. I mean, this is what Nana is dressing up, having a good time, having parties about. I mean, like she has landed her prince, but he is the prince of the jail cell. And this particular person, I don't think they're a squatty. I think they're more of a Meghan supporter. And her name is Narendra Kaur. And she writes about Nana and how Nana invited her to her engagement party and then turned around and uninvited her. Now I'm going to read it. This is what she is saying. She said, I've always gotten on with Nana Akua. Our political views may differ widely, but I've always got on. I wish her and her fiance, the prisoner, I added that one up, the ex-con, that's what it is, the ex-con, all of the love and luck in the world. She invited me to her engagement party, and then suddenly I was uninvited, and it would seem fine. This picture suggests to me, what's her name? Suella may have had something to do with it. I think she used to be something in the government when Boris Johnson was the prime minister. And she is a very cruel woman, especially against immigrants. You know, she's that type of person who family of come from a family of immigrants, but yet and still will punish and go against her people in order to advance herself, to align herself with cruelty in order for her to advance herself. This is the same thing with Nana. It is a lot of black and brown people who have this self-hatred thing inside of them, that they'll go against their own people and be very, very cruel against their own people in order to advance their own career. These are the same people who will climb up a ladder that has been built by people who have suffered, died, bled, and they'll climb that ladder and then pull the ladder up behind them. And we all know people here in America like that. Yeah, we do. Like Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas. Yes, the Supreme Court Justice, who absolutely benefited from everything that was won in the civil rights movement and has done everything to dismantle it ever since he has been on the court. Yes, the kind that will climb a ladder and pull it up behind them. This is who this woman is, my understanding. And if I have it wrong, please correct me in the comments. But this is one thing I want to say about what Narendra has wrong in this whole situation. She's saying that she hoped that she could still be friends with people. She's still friendly with people on the right, that they disagree wildly, but she still would like for them to be friends and stuff like this. This is what people like Narendra gets wrong. How in the world are you going to be friends or friendly with a snake? That is why people really, really go wrong because somehow they think that there is a way to have a relationship with a snake. You just cannot do it. It goes back to what I was saying about Harry. Harry cannot have a relationship with those people across the pond because they are snakes. They have proven that. They have bit him time and time again. You think they're going to change their snakish ways? That's not going to happen. Look at Nana and the people that surrounds her. These people are snakes. This woman who seems like a very thoughtful and good person. And I have read a lot of her posts and I have saw her on some of those talk shows over across the pond defending Meghan and Harry. And she still thinks that she can be friends with these snakes. All I can say is, Narendra, get ready. This is not the last time you're gonna be bit because she said she was invited and then uninvited. And this is not the last time you're gonna be bit. As long as you choose to try to keep a friendship or have a friendship with a snake, because a snake never changes its ways. It never will. You know, it's always going to be a snake. You can treat it as kindly, lovingly, bring it into your home, do all the things that a kind and loving person will do for that snake. And then that snake will still turn around and bite you. Why? Because they are a snake. That's why I never make friends with a snake. Once I find out you're a snake, I don't deal with you because eventually I know you'll get around to biting me. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I want to put this up, and squatties are still posting their goodies. They are, and making them look so pretty. Look at this one. It says, "Oh, this is so pretty." As ever by Meghan. Hashtag Meghan. I'm so excited to taste. I was refunded for the jam, but when it comes, I will be ready. Look at this. Isn't that cute? And that attitude, I love it. I love it. And also, Megan is over there on her Instagram page making apricot and honey butter. Yes, go over there, check it out, give her a like. And it looks so delicious. It really, really does. And this particular squatty posted it and said, Duchess Meghan has her fans elevating the ordinary. Check out the as ever combo we didn't know we needed. Apricot honey butter. This is a first and looks absolutely delish. Where is the lie? Yes, go over there and check her out. Go over. It looks so good and look like she puts it on a biscuit. Y'all know I love honey butter, but with apricot spread in it. I bet it's delicious. Y'all know I just love how Megan just goes on with her life. Look what they've been doing across the pond. Still lying, still planning stories, still trying to bring her down. William putting words in the dead queen's mouth in order to tear her down, her and Harry. And then planning stories talking about is they blame her 100% and how she used Harry because he's stupid in order to become one of the most famous women in the world. And they hate on her. They're bitter, they're jealous, they're envious. And all while they're tying themselves in knots over there, Megan is happily bare feet, in her kitchen making honey apricot butter and putting them on what looks like this delicious biscuit. Megan is living her life. And y'all remember in this last podcast interview she did with Emma Greedy, Meghan said it is a whole happy life going on behind the scenes. And she meant exactly that. And that is the reason why we are so determined that Meghan be successful. Just as determined as you are to destroy her, we're equally and more determined that you will not be allowed to do so. She's going to be successful. And it is such a delicious thing to watch you grieve and agonize and absolutely be envious of this woman that you tried to destroy and still is trying to destroy. We just got through reading that article, that the excerpts from that Daily Beast article, and boy, was that telling. That was William, that was Kate, these vengeful individuals. Meghan has done zero to them, zero to them, but yet and still they hate her. Harry, keep your wife away from those folks, because the bitterness and the envy and the bow is at a peak right now. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.